The winter storm is past us, but the threat of ice still remains. Officials across central Texas are urging you to stay home and don't go out on the roads tonight. This is a look at some of those dangerous conditions on the roadways near downtown Austin, East Austin, Pflugerville, and Georgetown. Remember, even a small amount of ice can pose a big danger to drivers throughout the region. We're bringing you live team coverage tonight and what you need to know to stay safe on the roads right now in these icy conditions. We've got crews stationed all around Austin as well as Marble Falls, and we'll hear the latest updates from all of them in just a minute. But first, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Chicago Windler. Chicago, long night for you. A lot of sleet and hail overnight. It's no longer sleeting, but temperatures are still freezing.
Now your Storm Tracker weather, sponsored by the Sistine Chapel Experience.
Temperatures are still freezing. Our high was only 28 degrees, and though the sleet has ended, I'm going to show you radar in just a moment. There are some snow showers that are moving through the hill country right now. Let's quickly let you know where we stand with the storm. Freezing rain was not as much as we had hoped, and that saved us in the power outage department. Camp Mabry only saw 0.05 inches of freezing rain and 1,100ths at Austin Bergstrom, as opposed to what could have been up to a half an inch if it had all been in the form of freezing rain. But sleet came in, obviously is creating issues, but only on surfaces like the roads, not on the power lines. Camp Mabry picked up 0.6 inches of sleet, Austin Bergstrom 0.8 inches, and this morning we were 19 degrees. That was a record low at Camp Mabry, and it's going to be even colder tonight. And just look at all of the winter storm reports, not only across our part of central Texas, but spanning all the way up into New England. This is a very impactful storm. Right now, we've fallen to 24 after that high of 28. You can see road conditions. Well, these cars are moving, but it's still a lot of slush out there on the roads. The wind chill is 15, and here we go. Tracking what is the last bit of precipitation. Fading fast, some flurries are possible. We do still have extreme cold warnings in place through noon tomorrow. I'm going to track temperatures town by town coming up.
Thanks, Chicago. With temperatures as low as they are, it's very dangerous to stay outside without the proper layers. Austin Mayor Kirk Watson says one person died of exposure last night. The city has its cold weather shelters open tonight through Tuesday morning for anyone who needs a warm place to stay and get out of this cold. The embarkation period to one of these shelters is going on now through 8 p.m. Cap Metro's regular bus service is suspended tonight, but emergency transport options to shelters are available if you call 311. Visit our website, cbsaustin.com, for more information on how to register and get to a warm, safe place. Crews are continuing to treat icy roads with a bit of help this afternoon from the sun. CBS Austin's Andrew Lamparski is live near I-35 in downtown Austin. Andrew, how are conditions out there right now? A lot of slush when I came in today. What does it look like now?
Yeah, Walt, it's a different story right now on I-35 through downtown. Feeling grateful for that sun that we saw this afternoon. Let's take a look at what drivers are seeing out on the road tonight. Things are actually looking pretty normal. You see drivers out here looking to go full speed through downtown on I-35. This is not the sheet of ice you may have seen overnight or this morning, but that also doesn't mean it's business as usual out here on the interstate. It is still slick in some spots as we get into the evening. You may have to worry about some refreezing. Some of these roads are still wet, so you can see, those spots refreeze, turn into black ice. The spots you do have to look out for, especially downtown from what I've seen, these spots over the interstate. So these bridges like the 11th Street Bridge, I think you can see here, ultimately things are drivable, but again, you still have to be careful. We're checking out all over the city right now. Our Vinny Martirano is up in Northwest Austin. Vinny, how are things looking up there?
Yeah, Andrew, a lot of similar conditions out here. Definitely feeling that cold and a lot of heavy wind coming through, making it feel even colder. We've been standing here in Northwest Austin, just off of Mopac, watching cars go by, checking in on these traffic conditions. I want to start by looking at the access road here. This has been iced over all afternoon from that sleet that fell last night. We've watched cars even turn on their hazards as they've gone slowly and cautiously through this area. But one part that we've been watching throughout the afternoon, as you can see, some cars using their hazards on Mopac. But throughout the day, that ice has started to melt with the amount of traffic that we've seen on it, and that's allowed some people to move pretty freely on Mopac. One thing that we do want to watch out for is there are some spots that are still slushy. Some are covered, which has been nice, but there's still some water and slush on the roads, which could freeze as the temperatures get colder. Now, we've had CBS Austin's Farrah Walton in our traffic tracker driving around Austin. Right now, she's in southwest Austin. Farrah, what can you tell us about what you're seeing down there?
Well, Vinny, right now we have been driving along State Highway 71, and the roads here don't seem to have been quite as traveled as more downtown or even in North Austin. If you look inside of our vehicle right now, I'm with our photographer, Jalen Adams, who is driving very slowly because we have hit a couple icy patches along this stretch here. He's been going about 25 miles an hour. Now, giving you a look outside, it is pretty. It looks like a winter wonderland. Still lots of white ice and sleet out here, some slush. But yeah, City of Austin and TxDOT crews have been continuing to treat roads around here. Still seeing lots of those icy patches. TxDOT says if you need a highway emergency response operator tonight, you can call 512-974-HERO. But this ice threat isn't over yet, as whatever has melted today will continue to freeze over again. So officials are encouraging you to keep the roads clear for our emergency officials. We will send it back to you, Adela and Walt, in studio.
Thank you, Farrah. Here's one of the reasons why first responders ask you to stay off the roads. Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis says one of the department's patrol units was hit by a pickup truck that lost control last night. The officer was not seriously injured. We spoke with TxDOT before the storm hit about how to navigate the slick conditions if you absolutely have to drive.
If you begin to slide, you don't want to slam on the brakes. You want to let off the accelerator. You want to steer in the direction that you want to be going, and you should be traveling slow enough to where your car starts to slow down enough to where you regain traction.
TxDOT's fleet is out right now scraping ice off the highways and other major roadways around central Texas. But again, TxDOT's message to drivers: if you can, please stay home. A big question on the minds of Central Texas families tonight: are schools closed for tomorrow or not? The answer is yes for most districts and colleges in our area. This is a look at just some of the districts that have canceled classes for Monday. It includes Austin, Round Rock, Leander, Pflugerville, and Hayes ISDs. Colleges closed include UT Austin, Texas State, and all ACC campuses. Mason ISD says they will have class, but they'll start 2 hours late. Be sure to check this story and more on our website at cbsaustin.com for all of the school closures. The list is also scrolling at the bottom of your screen as we get new updates on the school closures. Let's take another look at the roads right now. This is I-35 and East MLK looking south. We'll be right back right after this. What? Okay. A memorial is growing in Minneapolis tonight, honoring 37-year-old Alex Preddy. He was shot and killed by a Border Patrol agent Saturday morning, less than 3 weeks after an ICE officer shot and killed Renee Good in her car. Tonight, state and federal officials are giving very different messages about the shooting. Top Border Patrol official Gregory Bovino blames the shooting on Preddy's actions. However, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says the video evidence shows Preddy peacefully protesting before officers brought him down and shot him.
I've got a question for all of you. What side do you want to be on? The side of an all-powerful federal government that can kill, injure, menace, and kidnap its citizens off the streets? Or on the side of a nurse at the VA hospital who died bearing witness to such government?
The suspect put himself in that situation. The victims are the Border Patrol agents there.
State investigators were allowed at the scene of the shooting today after previously being denied entry by the Department of Homeland Security. A judge granted a temporary restraining order that prevents federal authorities from destroying or altering evidence already removed. We're continuing to keep a close eye on the roads out there right now. It looks pretty good on the major thoroughfares because TxDOT is working around the clock to get those roads safe and in shape. This is Live Look at I-35 and RM 2243 near Georgetown. Remember, you're urged to stay home tonight unless you absolutely have to drive. We've got more on the conditions across the area coming up. Okay, it might not have been the perfect sledding conditions this morning, but good enough. Don't tell that to these Austinites enjoying themselves in Butler Park. You can send us photos and videos of how you spent the day. Just chime in with us. Whoa, he's booking. Watch out for that tree. Just scan the QR code on your screen and include your name and location, and you just might see your submission in one of our newscasts. A lot of fun out there. Now, across Central Texas, ice is still our main concern right now on the roadways, especially on bridges and overpasses. And a lot of the roads into the communities, they're not getting any treatment at all. So you got to be especially careful if you're going in and out of your community. Meteorologist Michael Crowley is live for us in Marble Falls tonight. Michael, how have conditions been out there today? You know, you got hit pretty hard last night.
We got some pretty heavy sleet out here, Walt, in Marble Falls, and a lot of that sleet, just like it has everywhere, has frozen into a consistent layer of ice. And it looks deceptively soft when you're looking at the side of the roads, but it is hard as a rock. And if you look behind me, this is Highway 281. We're at the junction of 281 and 2nd Street in Marble Falls. This car going by on this road in particular, it's not too bad. A lot of it has melted just because of the friction of a lot of these tires. They may have treated this road as well. But if you look at 2nd Street, just across there, there's a 1/4 inch of ice across almost that entire road. And if you try to go up that hill, try to go down that hill, you may not actually stop. In fact, in this parking lot that we're currently doing this segment in, there was a car that got stuck on a speed bump and was spinning its wheels and moving backwards. So if that doesn't tell you to stay off the roads, I don't know what will. And in addition, all that water that's currently being melted by that friction will refreeze tonight as we dip into the teens and possibly even single digits across the area. So still very dangerous driving conditions. It's going to stay that way for the entirety of Central Texas throughout the night. We're going to keep tracking it for you throughout this show and later on tonight. Reporting in Marble Falls, CBS Austin meteorologist Michael Crowley. Someone just spun out right over there. I'm going to get back to you guys in the studio.
Now your Storm Tracker weather, sponsored by the Sistine Chapel Experience.
I certainly hope that they're okay. The roads are really treacherous. Hope you're doing well. I know a lot of people embraced this day and had fun sledding and all that fun stuff. Hopefully you're bundled up as well. And we're not totally done with this wintry weather. It's dying out fast, but the last vestiges, a few snow flurries are working their way through Mason, Llano, and Gillespie counties. If you're lucky, you might see some flurries. I had some reports of flurries earlier today in Burnett, Leander, Liberty Hill areas as well. Temperature topped out at 28. We never thawed out. So we started at freezing 11 o'clock yesterday. I don't think we'll go above freezing until about 2 to 3 o'clock tomorrow. That's about 51 hours. Freezing temperatures. The record from 1983, that big Christmas storm, is 140 hours, so nowhere close to that. So 24 right now, it feels like 15. The extreme cold, though, is going to linger, and tonight will be even colder than last night. So as mentioned, we're watching radar, and it's also rather windy, too. Now, because of the wintry weather, Mason County is one of those few locations that is under a winter weather advisory. It's only till 6 o'clock, so another 11 minutes on that. And as you can see, it was for that spotty light precipitation. So in 11 minutes, this winter weather advisory goes away, but that doesn't mean that the roads aren't going to be bad. They still will. Please take those precautions. Temperatures area-wide in the 20s, except if you're in Harper. It's 19 degrees right now, and none of our area made it above 32 today. So one of the things that has been a real help, though, is it didn't fall all as freezing rain. That could have caused potentially significant power outages and trees down. We did not have that because the freezing rain was only 0.05 to 0.11 inches across the area. Instead, we replaced it with sleet, which is what we're dealing with right now. But because we've got the ice cover, that keeps temperatures colder. This morning, we made it down to 19. That was a new record low. Overnight tonight and through noon tomorrow, all of us under a cold weather warning. And this means continue to protect people, pets, plants, and pipes. How low will those temperatures go? Take a look. In Austin, I've got 17 with a wind chill of 7 degrees at 7 to 8 a.m. This is likely a good reason why many of the schools are canceled. In addition to the treacherous roads, we wouldn't want the school buses out on those. Monday morning low in Mason, 12, 15 in Round Mountain, 18 in Elgin, 17 degrees in LaGrange, and we're going to do it all over again as we head through Monday night into Tuesday morning. The caveat, Tuesday there won't be wind, so it'll just be 17. It won't be 17 with wind chills in the single digits, and then we warm up with 20s for high temperatures later and into the 30s. But here's your hour-by-hour forecast. We're going to be sunny skies, so no precipitation in the short term. Temperatures are just going to be what we end up tracking. And as you can see, it could feel like as cold as 3 in Fredericksburg by daybreak, feeling like 2 in Burnett. So significant cold is with us. Make sure you continue to bundle up. As for the long term, well, we've got freezes 6 of the next 7 days. I had been watching potential for another potential winter storm sometime next weekend. It is looking less likely. I am pleased to pass along.
Here's another look at the roads right now. This is Mopac near Camp Mabry. Not too bad, but still some dangerous spots, and all that road melt from the friction, that's going to ice over. It's going to be an ice rink out there. We've got more winter weather coverage right after this. What's going on, Dom? Did you fix it? Still. What's the frequency, Kenneth? See what I did there? What's the frequency, Kenneth? Okay, this winter storm has passed us, but it's still hitting the East Coast pretty hard. This is a live look at Times Square in New York City, which is expected to get over a foot of snow by Monday. More than 200 million people nationwide are under winter storm warnings tonight, and multiple states, including New York, have declared a state of emergency. Some other areas of the Northeast could see up to 2 feet of snow by Monday. Stay with us. We're back after this.
Extreme cold warning in effect until noon tomorrow. I'm forecasting a record low of 17. We finally thaw out by about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. In the Hill Country, you might get to 32 in Fredericksburg by about 4 o'clock before we refreeze. So the freeze-thaw cycle is on. Be safe.
All right, thank you for joining us tonight. Be safe, be warm. We'll see you back here at 10. The overnight ice storm still causing trouble on the roads. Coming up on CBS Austin News at 10, the latest conditions throughout the region and how you can stay safe.